Hello everyone, I'm your host, Shani Singhal. Welcome to BTT World News.
Hi everyone, my name is Kaushik, and today we'll go through the latest news updates from around the globe and in Australia. Let's check the news updates across the globe.
A ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah has been announced, brokered by the US and France. The agreement proposes a 60-day truce, with the IDF withdrawing from southern Lebanon and UN-led monitoring. However, strikes have persisted since the announcement of the ceasefire agreement. Concerns over Hezbollah's future actions and political divisions within Israel's government highlight challenges. Lebanon reports 3,700 deaths and over 1 million displaced, with Israel recording 118 fatalities during the year-long conflict.
Pakistani police fired tear gas to block thousands of supporters of jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan from entering Islamabad. Protesters travelled 150 kilometres to demand Khan's release, defying a city lockdown on rally ban. Clashes left one police officer dead and several injured on both sides. The government is negotiating with Khan's party to prevent further violence, allowing protests on Islamabad's outskirts, but warning of severe action if marchers enter the city.
Special Counsel Jack Smith has dropped federal cases against President-elect Donald Trump, stating constitutional concerns over prosecution before his inauguration. The dismissed cases involved election subversion and mishandling classified documents. Smith emphasized the decision wasn't based on case merits. Trump's legal team has hailed the move as a victory, while the Justice Department maintained its stance on the charges.
US President-elect Donald Trump announced plans to impose sweeping tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China immediately upon taking office. He proposed a 25% tariff on Mexican and Canadian imports, citing concerns over drugs, illegal immigration, and border security, and an additional 10% tariff on Chinese goods to address fentanyl trafficking. These moves, Trump claims, will remain until significant changes occur. While border crossings and violent crimes have declined, fentanyl seizures have risen sharply. The tariffs threaten to strain US trade relations and challenge the 2020 trade deal.
You've probably heard that lawyer fees can really add up, right? Imagine how much money you could save if you handled most of your legal case yourself. With BTT Lawyers, now you can. At BTT Lawyers, we understand that family law cases can be really complicated and expensive. That's why we give you complete control over your case and your expenses. Believe it or not, you can handle 70% of your case yourself. With the help of our legal advisors, clear plans, and cutting-edge technology, you can manage the key parts of your case on your own. From preparing documents to tracking your case progress, you'll be able to understand and control everything. We're always here to support you through our offices in Preston, Dandenong, Sydney, and Canberra. Facing legal issues doesn't mean going broke or giving up on your case. With BTT Lawyers, you'll only pay a small fraction of the typical legal fees. Ready to take charge of your case? Contact us today. BTT Lawyers, with you, for your case.
Now, turning our attention to the latest news updates around Australia. For the first time, Gen Z and millennials will outnumber baby boomers in the 2025 federal election, making up nearly 50% of the electorate. This demographic shift is pressuring political parties to adapt, focusing on housing affordability, education, and climate change. Policies like HECS Help, debt relief, and tax reform aim to address younger voters' concerns. Analysts highlight the need for campaigns to embrace digital platforms and influencers, as traditional media loses relevance among these younger, increasingly volatile voters.
The deaths of Melbourne teens Holly Bowles and Bianca Jones, both 19 years old, have brought the louse methanol poisoning death toll to 6. A vigil was held by their football club. Several police, including the owner of Nana Backpacker Hostel, where the poisoning occurred, have been detained. Foreign Minister Penny Wong pledged support for the families, while travel warnings urge caution with spirit-based drinks in Laos.
From 2016 to 2023, KU Children's Services, a private childcare operator, managed $562 million in federal grants for the Inclusion Support Program, raising conflict of interest concerns. KU approved grants while also operating childcare services eligible for funding. Transparency issues emerged as spending details were not publicly reported. The Department of Education later acknowledged non-compliance, ending KU's grant approval role in 2023. Critics, including integrity experts, call for an audit to ensure proper use of public funds.
The Albanese government has addressed the Senate inquiry into missing and murdered First Nations women and children, reaffirming funding for violence victims and pledging a national Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander family safety plan for 2024. Minister Malandiri McCarthy honoured the late advocate Kuman Rubuncha and called gender-based violence a national shame. While $194 million was allocated for the First Nations safety, Greens Senator Dorinda Cox expressed disappointment that only 2 of the inquiry's 10 recommendations were addressed. The government emphasised collaboration across sectors to combat violence and urged tailored media coverage of cases.
Senators Lydia Thorpe and Mehreen Faruqi have proposed a motion in the Senate for an inquiry into racism by the Standing Committee on Procedures. Faruqi emphasised the need for Parliament to address racism in policy and practice, criticising the lack of non-discriminatory behaviour. Thorpe underscored her commitment to exposing racism in her workplace, aiming to create a safe environment for all. Both senators voiced frustration with superficial rhetoric and called for concrete action against racial discrimination.
Thank you for listening to BTT World News.
Stay tuned for more updates and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more news updates around the globe.